Hello, people of the internet. My name is JD Shadow. This is going to be a kind of a quick video, but I want to address a situation that has just came to me through YouTube. Now, as you know, you may have known, I don't know if you actually do know or not, I have a few secondary YouTube channels right now because I'm trying to make sure that the YouTube algorithm doesn't confuse one thing with another, because I deal with a whole bunch of different kinds of content and I want to make sure that things are not going to be confusing for my viewers or to anything else. That's why I created the Gameroom channel, where one of the things that I wanted to do was gameplay content, and this would be able to allow me the ability to have a channel devoted just toward that. And there's a lot of people that do this. There's a lot of channels that will have a secondary channel to be dedicated toward content like that, so they don't have to bog down the other channel with other things, or to have that channel bogged down with other content that they produce. Well, it seems like YouTube kind of disagrees that that was the purpose of this particular channel. Now, keep in mind, to my recollection, the only videos I had uploaded to that were my Metroid Dread videos, and I can't remember if I did the Neverending Nightmares playthrough, if I uploaded that at all, or maybe the old Watch Dogs playthrough I tried to do a long time ago. Maybe that was something I did back in the day that I re-uploaded onto that channel. I don't remember, because I've been trying to get some other stuff going. The majority of that was the Metroid Dread playthrough that I was doing. So imagine my confusion when I saw what you're seeing on the screen right now. It is a email that I got on my Gmail account. Now, I'm not going to tell you what my Gmail account actually is, but it says, "We have reviewed your content and found severe or repeated violations of our community guidelines. Because of this, we have removed your channel from YouTube." They don't explain what these violations are. We know this is probably very upsetting news, but it is our job to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all. If we think a channel severely violates our policies, we take it down to protect other users on the platform. If you believe we've made the wrong call, you can appeal this decision. You'll find more information about the policy in question and how to submit an appeal below. What our policy says: spam, scams, or commercially deceptive content are not allowed on YouTube. And of course, down below, it goes even further, saying we have permanently removed your channel from YouTube. Going forward, you won't be able to access, possess, or create any other YouTube channels. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that from here on out, I can't have my main channel? The channel that I'm uploading this to right now? What about the other channels I have? Does that mean that everything that's associated with me, this brand, anything else is gone? That is very vague, and it leaves a lot of room for interpretation. But it gives me a few options to appeal, and I have appealed this, of course, because here's the thing. One, there was no misleading content on that channel. What am I misleading people about? It is a channel devoted to gameplay content, and that's what I put on the channel. There's really no way that you can say that's not what was on the channel. And I had posted to a few discords about what the channel was and what it was devoted to. There was nothing deceptive about it. How can you deceive people if that's what you put on your channel? It was called Gameroom. That was a brand name, and it were gameplay related videos. What is misleading about that? Is it misleading because of the commentary? Because I commented on the game I was playing. But if there was something else in it, then you have to explain what that is. YouTube doesn't tell you anything. YouTube doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't say what the problem is. And here's the worst thing about it. I didn't get any information before this. And yes, they did delete this channel. If you go to the Gameroom channel now, this is all you get. Account has been terminated due to multiple or severe violations of YouTube policy against spam, deceptive practices, and misleading content or other terms of service violations. That is very vague. What does that mean? What did they do? What did I do? Right now, I have absolutely no idea, because I never got any bit of information to tell me what exactly the problem was, or any prior warning to anything that was going on. If there was any kind of violation of terms of service, can you please tell me what it was? Plus, the Metroid Dread content and every other piece of content that was on this particular Gameroom channel was also on the main channel. So if it's on the Gameroom channel, then it's on my own channel, which you can now access as well. It was always on there. So what is misleading about this channel that wasn't on the other channel? Was it something else that didn't have to do with gameplay content? Because that's exactly what I put on there. And this troubling piece of information, which is access, possess, or create any other YouTube channels, what does that mean? Does that mean I can't access the JD Shadow channel, or the Soapbox channel that I was trying to get off the ground, or maybe the theater channel that I'm trying to create in order to do the reactions? What's going on there? Or are they trying to catch on to people doing these types of channels to escape the algorithm, which is borked anyway? But if that's the case, they have to get to everybody that would ever do that. And I can assure you that there's a lot of content on my channel that would like to separate into different channels in order to give people a choice whether they want to have everything or just one specific type of content. And yes, people do this all the time. They try to do separate channels to do separate types of content, so their main channel does not get bogged down by being confused by what is this channel? What does this channel have? Well, who does this channel appeal to? That's basically what that means. And I can't do that if when I do something like that, all of a sudden YouTube's saying that I'm somehow misleading people, or I'm deceiving people, or I'm producing spam. What kind of spam am I doing? Just saying me directing people to the main channel is spam because it's my channel. How else am I going to say, hey, this is a sub channel to the mothership? How else are you going to say that? Yes, that's what it is. How is that spam? How is me directing people to a main channel misleading people or deceiving people? YouTube never tells you this. YouTube never explains this. But yes, I have appealed this. Obviously I am, because this is completely backward. Plus, how can you fix something if you never get any indication that anything's wrong? The first rule of solving any problem is to know that a problem exists. And I never got any indication that a problem exists, or that anything was a problem, or that anything should have been a problem. There was nothing there to suggest that I was misleading anybody. I mean, it's a gameplay channel. What am I going to do to mislead people there? Not that I would anyway, but how do you mislead people with a gameplay channel? Only if you say, oh, this is a Metroid Dread review or a gameplay video, and then it becomes some sort of other video when you click the link. That's not what I did. There was no way to say that's what I did, because I didn't do that. And the worst part about it is, how much you want to bet YouTube never says it. They'll never come back and tell me what's going on, or give me any sort of indication, give me any sort of answers or any sort of help here. So now I'm just left with whatever this might be, with whatever comes of this. Again, nothing that was on the Gameroom channel is something that you couldn't have accessed elsewhere on my main channel. At least not at that point. I was trying to get it to where I could post gameplay content exclusively on that channel so I can free up some of my main channel for other content. And the gameplay channel would not suffer, or the gameplay videos would not suffer as the result of other types of content that would confuse the system. So what was it? What was it that created the issue? Or was my channel hacked in some way? That's a possibility, and that is very troubling. But because YouTube doesn't ever help anybody else out, even if you get to the higher rungs of the subscriber sphere or whatever, they'll never say anything. They'll never do anything. They won't tell you anything. They'll just leave you in the dark like they are now. This is the first time I ever knew there was any issue with my channel. What's the issue? You have to talk, YouTube. You have to tell people what's going on. This is the problem. This is why people go to Rumble. They will go to Facebook Watch. They will go to any other platform right now. You have competition right now. You can't keep doing this to your users or to your creators. You can't keep doing that. And yes, you can view all the gameplay content I have so far on this main channel until we get this straightened out. I have contacted YouTube about this. I have sent an appeal. I don't know how that's going to turn out. It'll be maybe next week I figure out what's going on. But until then, this is what I'm seeing right now. And I hope this is something that gets resolved quickly and that YouTube gets my account back. Because what in the world is a Metroid Dread video doing to mislead people, deceive people? And keep in mind, this is not a copyright issue, so I doubt this was Nintendo pulling the strings here. This was a terms of service violation, which basically means that YouTube has a say in what they believe here and what happened here. So this was something that YouTube believed I was doing. Had nothing to do with Nintendo, or else I would see a DMCA all over the place. And maybe that would have been a better sign, or at least I knew what was going on here. I have no idea. I'm JD Shadow. That just happened, unfortunately.